Hey, good morning, everyone. Grace and peace. Welcome to Find the Intersection. My name is Paul Dezay. Today is Friday, which means today we do the weekly intersections. So what we're doing, if you have ever seen this card before, this is kind of our worksheet intersection card that we use each week. And I always post it at the few days before the beginning of the week. So I'll be posting next week's probably today. But what it is each day we write down a few insights from, so this is the gospel passage and, oh, wrong way. This is the New Testament, and then over here is the Old Testament, but in this case we're in Book of Acts during Easter, and then the Psalm over here. And then on Friday, we jot down the themes and the intersections between these four passages. And so that's what we're up to today. So, every time you do these, the intersections I'm going to come up with will probably be different than the intersections that you come up with. And when you share your intersections with me, I learn from you. And I think that's the true benefit of this. So I'm very curious if you would mind post your intersections at the end. But I came up with three. The first is transformation. And so here's my take. I believe that Easter, the resurrection of Jesus, changed the world. And so what we see is, because of that transformation of the world, we see people's lives being changed because of the resurrected Christ. And so we see, like in Peter's case, he's being restored and his calling is being renewed, and he's being sent out to love the sheep, to tend to the sheep, feed the sheep. And we see Paul's life, or Saul's life, being transformed to become a missionary to the Gentiles. And in the book of Revelation, it's the revealing of the transformation, that people expected a lion, but the lion was actually a lamb. And so that is an amazing idea. And our lives can be transformed. So that's where this comes in. We can be transformed to the person that we were created to be just like Jesus, in the sense of his resurrected life. We are being transformed into what that means. So we're Easter people, we're resurrection people. The second theme, which I noticed, was this idea of calling, or the renewing of calling. For Peter, his call was renewed to take care of the sheep. So he received the calling at the breakfast of fish and bread there at the Sea of Galilee, where he originally got his calling, and he got his calling renewed after his restoration. And then we have Saul receiving his calling to be appointed to the Gentiles. So we see this idea of calling and rooted in that, the renewing of our calling. And so, a question is what is our calling, and how is God desiring to renew our calling if we have, like Peter, kind of wandered away from that call on God? I believe everyone's called. I believe everyone's called to love their neighbor and transform their city and their world. And he uses different gifts and talents to do that. But oftentimes we think so poorly of ourselves, at least I think poorly of myself, that I'm not capable of doing what God has called me to do. And I think Peter kind of follows into that. The third thing is the power of love. It sounds like a song or something, the power of love. What we see here is that in the root of the conversation between Jesus and Peter at the breakfast meal, is this aspect is, do you love me? And there's tremendous power in the fact that Peter is loved by Jesus, even if Peter isn't able to reply in the way that Jesus was hoping. And there's some Greek nuances in there that, Jesus asked, Peter, do you agape me? And Peter responded, Lord, of course I phileo you, which is brotherly love. Peter had a hard time responding with this idea of sacrificial love. But that's that same love that God loves us with, and that God loves Peter with, that transforms Peter to truly become the rock, right? And then within the power of love, we see that love bringing healing into the life of the psalmist. We see the love of the Lamb on the throne, that all nations and all people have gathered to worship. And then we see even the love transforming somebody like Paul or Saul to become from a persecutor to somebody who is on mission for God. Anyway, that's what I got. What do you get? And there's a lot in here, I know, and I'm only scratching the surface. So I would love to hear what you came up with this week on the intersections. Again, as I talked about yesterday, if you wouldn't mind sharing with me how the intersections has been helpful to you, in this Bible reading plan, because we're going to kind of take this to another level. We're going to extend the reach of the Intersection Bible Study Method. So I need your help there. And then there's some big things coming. We're going to be introducing over the next few weeks some more tools and some opportunities for you to help support what we're trying to do with the Intersection. So look out for those. Hope you have a great day, great weekend. And all the Southsiders, I'll see you on this weekend. And everyone else, just have a blessed time worshiping with your church community. Grace and peace, everybody. Take care.